In this video, I'm gonna tell you how you can build a real web design studio without hiring anyone and with minimal costs up front with Elementor Pro. Hello, I'm your host Cinho from Cinho.com. I'm the digital alchemist, and today we're gonna have some real talk because many of the tutorials online tell you that you can build a professional website in 5 minutes or even less, but I'm a professional and that kind of thing doesn't happen in real life. Now, maybe you're just getting started or maybe you are already a freelancer, but today we want to talk about building a real business. Now, before you ask me, why did you pick Elementor Pro and why not another tool? Well, there are plenty of tools, and if you want to talk about theme builders, I already created a video about that. But today I want to talk about a tool that I know by heart, and that tool is Elementor Pro. Because yes, in the past year, 100% of the websites I've built were built with Elementor Pro, so I know the tool inside out. Well, to be honest, every time I say that, I discover a new feature. But hush, don't tell anyone. Now, of course, you may want to replicate this with your tool of choice, but a little bit later in the video, I'm going to tell you why I picked Elementor Pro. Now, going back to what I was saying before, maybe you're already building websites, but you may want to have a team. Maybe you want bigger projects, maybe you want more money, or maybe you just want to have some social interaction with a team. There are plenty of good reasons, but traditionally, when you wanted to grow a web design studio, there was a lot of cost involved. You needed an office, then you had to hire some people, and just when getting started, you were already in debt. But nowadays, there is a new model emerging, and that model is quite simple. So you may start a business on your own, or maybe with a partner, and then you're gonna team up with other freelancers, and you're gonna streamline the process so that you have a brand, you have a unique tone of voice. When you speak to the clients, they know your brand, but then within the company, you work mainly with freelancers. But it's not just about finding a freelancer here and there and making business. That's not gonna work. Instead, I'm gonna tell you how you can build a successful agency based on that model. So first of all, you need to build a team. And I like to think of that team as a soccer/football team, depending on where you grew up. And basically, just like in a soccer team, you have the attacking players, you have the midfielders, you have the defenders, you have the goalkeeper. And similarly, in your team, you may need copywriters, graphic designers, web developers, SEO experts, and so on. Now, like I said, it's not just about finding a random freelancer that has the skill set and trying to work with them. That's not gonna work. Now, how do you find good freelancers? Well, if you're not in a lockdown, one of the places you could go is in co-working spaces. Because in co-working spaces, you can rent just a desk, stay there for a week, couple of weeks, and try to talk to people, making small talk when people are on break, and try to get a feeling if, first of all, you are compatible with these people, and then try to give them a little bit of work on your next project. It might be something really small, maybe just one page or one design for one banner or something, and see how they react. Do they deliver on time? Are they always complaining? Or on the opposite, do they bring something good? Do they have some good vibes? And really fast, you're gonna picture mentally if those people are a good fit for the business you're trying to build. And then you can step up the game. This is the long game. You're not gonna find your team in 5 minutes. Also, when possible, try to attend networking conferences with your peers because you may make some really good connections. Now, if face-to-face is not an option, another good option is communities. You can go into private groups, you can go into forums. I know forum sounds old, but some forums are really good. Or you can go on really specific websites, and same thing, try to make a connection with the people in the comments, and bit by bit, try to do the same thing. On your next project, give them a small job and see if they can deliver on time. And then rinse, recycle, and repeat. And before you know it, you'll have a good team. Now, in my case, I know I can call upon photographers, graphic designers, SEO experts, and much, much more. 2, get the right tools. And of course, the first tool is Elementor Pro. And I know there's a lot of talk about the pricing that went up, but I already addressed that in a video. Now remember, we're talking about building a real business here, a web design studio. Now, just imagine if you need a car for your business. Would you go to the dealership and said, well, I want a new car, but I want it to be free or really cheap. I want it to be so cheap because, hey,
I don't like paying for stuff.
In the best case scenario, he's going to ignore you, and in the worst case, he may call the hospital. Now, Elementor Pro is going to be the foundation, and upon that, you can build an ecosystem. I already created some videos about that, but basically, in my ecosystem, I work with Elementor Pro, and then I like to use the Astra theme, and I use Jet Engine a lot these days. And by using Jet Engine and actually the whole Crocoblock suite, I can build websites that are dynamic websites, which means that I can charge more and I can have more challenging projects. Now, there are many tools in the Elementor ecosystem specifically made for Elementor and Elementor Pro, but one word of caution, I think you should always get Elementor Pro first. First of all, because it's awesome, it's got so many features, and second, because if you only purchase third-party stuff, let's say that Elementor disappears as a company, well, there won't be any thing to build upon. There won't be any Elementor anymore. So that's the way you can support the company. Now, I know that with the price hike, you may be reconsidering this, but once again, remember that we're building a business here. You're going to sell websites for a premium and your license is going to pay for itself. You can even start with a smaller plan and then you just pass the cost to your clients. Next, you really want to use the same tools with your freelancer. So when I work with my team, I want people to use the same tools because that makes it way easier. So I have Elementor Pro, Astra, Jet Engine, and then when it comes to graphic design, we use the Affinity Photo Suite with Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, and sometimes I use Adobe Photoshop. I love Photoshop, but I don't want to take the full suite of Adobe apps because I don't need everything. And Adobe is a subscription model, and especially when you're getting started, you want to lower the cost where possible. Next, you want a good video conferencing solution because most of the time you're going to deal with people working remote. And with everything that the world is going through right now, one of the only good things is that nowadays everybody can use Zoom. Even the people that used to hate doing video calls, now everybody knows how to do it. So more than likely your clients know how to do it too. And finally, you need a good project management software. Could be just project management or also CRM, customer relationship management. And that brings me to my next point. Step up your management skills. And you're gonna need some. You're gonna need some project management skills, you're gonna need some client management skill, and you're gonna need some human resources skills. Project management is crucial because at one stage, you may be just running the business. Maybe you're not even going to build websites anymore. You're going to have to deal with your team and you need a streamlined tool for that. So there are many tools and tools like software as a service tools, but there's one I recommend and I've already created also a video about that. It's Perfect CRM. The only recurring fees is if you want to have extended support, and that's very cheap. But if you don't need support, that's all you have to pay for. It's a standalone pack that you install on your server, just like a website, and you can add as many freelancers as you wish. So depending on the project, you can add one freelancer on that project and another freelancer on the other project. And that means that you can really have a bird's eye view of everything that's going on in your business. Now, when I talk about clients management skills, now don't forget that you will be the visible face of the company. So if you have a team of 10 freelancers spread out throughout the world and there's something going wrong, the client is going to come to you. So you need to learn how to manage your clients and your clients' expectations. Now, when everything goes right, guess who gets a pat on the back? And finally, human resources management, because where there are humans, there is always a challenge. For example, it may happen that some of the players in your team don't play the game as they should, and you need to be able to address the situation as a business owner, emotions aside. There's a lot of stuff to cover on this topic, but at least now you get the basics if you want to build your own web design studio without hiring anyone and with minimal cost up front. Now, the next logical question is, how do you get clients for your new web design agency? Well, if you want to know the answer, make sure you watch the video appearing on screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and take care.